Hello and welcome to PT and Nutrition Education's e-learning platform. Today we will be commencing with the coursework aspect of your assessment in your Learner Achievement Portfolio, or LAP for short. And as you can see, today's focus will be related to Unit 2, Knowing How to Support Clients. Just before we start, it's important to know that there are no textbook uniform answers which need to be given in order to obtain your marks. As long as you give sensible, creative answers to the questions which are being asked of you, then hopefully with this guidance and this tutorial, you should be able to give the answers necessary in order to achieve the mark which are available. Okay, so what you see here in front of you is essentially what is in your Learner Achievement Portfolio. We have questions from 1 through to 8 which make up the worksheet, knowing how to support clients. Now, for each question, it's important that you fill out the white space which is available. This is just to ensure that you do achieve the marks available. You're not giving one-word answers, as they're generally not accepted, in order to pass this particular worksheet and then move on to the next part of Unit 2. So as you can see, question 1 is why is it important to form an effective working relationship with your clients? So as we said earlier, there is no uniform answers that need to be given. Again, this is just using your sensibility in order to answer the question. So answers like gaining mutual respect and trust, of course, is vitally important to any working relationship, especially when working with a personal training client. Establishing a relationship so that you can get return custom, not only from the person in question, but also through positive word of mouth. This could, of course, increase your custom as a personal trainer. There are many answers which could be given here, so hopefully those just give you a couple of ideas which you could potentially explain and write about in order to make up question 1. Moving on to question 2, why is it important to present yourself and your organisation positively to your clients? So here we're talking about your professional appearance, your punctuality, your reliability, your integrity, walking the talk, as it were. It's important for all of these things to be done on a daily basis because, of course, when you are a personal trainer, you are essentially representing yourself, and of course a positive image is very important. And as well, even if you're working for a particular gym firm, you're wearing a particular uniform, then of course you are representing, you are reflecting that organization. So of course all of these things which was Aforo mentioned, you need to be trying to incorporate into your answer and also into your daily practice as a personal trainer once you're qualified. So question 3 is why is it important to value equality and diversity when working with your client? So first of all, just to delve deeper into equality and diversity, here we might be talking about different subsets of people within society today, such as people of different genders, race, disability, age, social class, sexuality, or religion. Of course, many different people from all different types of backgrounds must be treated ethically and through a non-prejudicial approach, making sure that everybody's treated as equals, especially when on the gym floor and especially when working with a client of a particular demographic. Question 4, describe how different communication skills can be used to assist clients with motivation. Of course, every client that you work with will be different and therefore they'll have their own idiosyncrasies which you need to work around. And of course, communication becomes absolutely paramount in this regard. When we talk about different communication skills, we can talk about verbal communication. So that's ensuring that the client is aware of the tasks in front of them to achieve their goals, showing empathy, discussing barriers, and also being able to communicate with them at the right times in the right situation. So that might involve an arm around the shoulder, it might involve a kick up the bum. This depends again on the type of client that you're working with and the communication that you think is required to motivate that individual client. And of course that comes down to your own skills as a personal trainer to ensure which type of communication is needed for the right circumstance and for the right person. Then, of course, we have non-verbal communication. So this might be something in the form of facial expression or gestures, paralinguistics, such as the tone of your voice, your body language. When you develop a relationship with your client over a period of time, you will soon get to know each other's non-verbal communication cues, and they can be used quite readily and quite convincingly in order to help motivate a client. But once again, this comes down to your own relationship with your clients and how you best see fit to help motivate that particular individual. Moving on to question 5, why is it important to notify your client if there is likely to be a delay in meeting their needs? Now, of course, when you first meet your client, one of the first things that you're going to do is set out what they want to achieve, what are their goals, how we're going to achieve it, and the time frame at which that may take. Now, of course, every client is going to be different, and the speed at which results are obtained are going to be different for each client too. Now, it's important that straight from the outset that you're transparent with the likelihood of achieving particular goals and making sure that clients don't have any unrealistic expectations. So I think really the first port of call from that initial consultation is just to make sure that any unrealistic goals and targets aren't set, so therefore the client is less likely to be disappointed when a particular time frame is up and those particular goals haven't been achieved. However, with that being said, like we've said at the beginning, we don't really know how quickly our clients are going to progress and how quickly they respond to your gym training stimulus. So again, notifying your client as soon as you realize may just avoid any kind of disappointment when it comes to meeting a certain fitness target or body composition target. As soon as you, as the personal trainer and the qualified professional, know that there may be a delay in meeting those needs, then being completely transparent, having that good communication between you and the client, like we spoke about from the earlier questions, all of this is going to help contribute to making sure that the client is happier and you're both on the same path towards achieving their goals in a realistic manner. Question 6 relates to why it is important to go the extra mile for your client. Now, in terms of going the extra mile for your client here, we could be talking about simple things like sending a weekly text message, even photographing your own diet in order to set a good example and sending those pictures to your client to keep them motivated. It could be the odd Q&A at the end of a personal training session where you're dedicating your time. Of course, the reasons for that is just to establish a much better service for your client and also, again, create that potential for referrals and further business within your organization or indeed for your own personal training clients. Again, we get to know who those customers are and we get to know them a little bit better. And again, it's just all about forming those positive relationships, developing a customer friendly attitude, which again is only going to add to your success as a personal trainer and also to your satisfaction as a personal trainer, knowing that you've gone the extra mile for your client and that they've achieved their goals and that they're happy with you as their personal trainer. Question 7 asks why it is important to handle any client complaints in a positive manner, ensuring you adhere to organizational procedures. So first of all, if we talk about dealing with client complaints in a positive manner, here we're talking about making sure that you listen and take ownership of the complaint. You're always polite, you remain calm and never enter into a confrontation or argument which is going to escalate from there with your client. Of course, that's very important that we don't do that. Making sure that you record the complaint, offer a point of contact such as a line manager, advise the client of possible solutions or alternatives, and make sure really that the client is pacified before they leave and that the complaint is being dealt with in an efficient manner as well. Now, when it comes to following organisational procedures, here we're just making sure that every employee that works for a particular organisation is following the same procedure when it comes to dealing with a complaint, just to ensure that everybody's communicating from a common ground and making sure that responses to client complaints are dealt with in a positive manner, as we just mentioned, um, so that everybody's treated fairly, and relates to the equality and diversity answer that we gave previously as well. So one thing to remember when it comes to complaints is every complaint is an opportunity in order to learn and to better your organization. So dealing with it positively can only help the company move on, progress, and get better. And question 8, the last question, is why is it important for your client to take personal responsibility for their own fitness and motivation? Now, of course, your role as a personal trainer is to make sure that your client is motivated to exercise, that they enjoy it when they come to the gym and they train with you on the gym floor, that they're educated in terms of their health, their fitness, and their well-being. But of course, this is only going to be for 1 or 2 hours a day when they're with you, the personal trainer. Of course, there are 23 other hours in the day where they're going to be alone. So it's really important that your client understands the benefits of exercising, the benefits of good nutrition, for their overall health, their enjoyment, their appearance, for social reasons, for rehabilitative reasons, general well-being, and even sport-specific if it's strength conditioning related. So helping your client to be educated on those topics and why it's so important to their overall health and well-being is just one step forward in making sure that your client is motivated to take personal responsibility of their own fitness and motivation. Okay, so far that rounds up questions 1 through 8. Hopefully now your Learner Achievement Portfolio Unit 2 is well on its way to being complete. What we're going to do now is we're going to switch focus to a comprehension task. So we're going to provide you with example learner work and also a learner manual whereby you can search for some of the answers which are expected for the remaining questions from question 9 through to 35. The rest now is down to you, using some of those ideas to fill those white boxes and answer those questions in your LAP. Once that's completed, we'll then move on to Unit 2, the client interview. So we'll see you over at those slides. Bye guys, good luck.